Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlie. Sorry I've been gone for so long, but I won't say I have health issues, but I had laryngitis for a little while that I was battling, so I tried to do this video about 3-4 weeks ago, but I had a cold and then it turned into laryngitis, and that was just a problem, so I had to kind of wait until now to do this. This video is called Cruising Out of South Florida. This is a comparison between cruising out of the Port of Miami in Miami and Port Everglades, which is in Fort Lauderdale. It's billed as in Fort Lauderdale, but it's at the very end of the city. It's literally at on the other side of the airfield of the airport. If you've flown out of Fort Lauderdale many times, like I have, after a cruise or just being in Florida in general, you can literally see the cruise ships in port from the terminal. You're flying out of Terminal 2 and Terminal 1 at Fort Lauderdale Airport. You just look out the window straight across. You can literally see the cruise ships in port that either just dropped you off or that are in port that when you came from Miami, but you can literally see the cruise ships from there. So they're literally, the port is on the other side of the runway and the other side of the highway. You can literally see the cruise port. Now, it's my belief that I have cruised out of both Fort Lauderdale and Miami before, and if you have the option, Port of Miami is a better option. Um, it's more centralized. It's easier to get to, and anywhere you stay in the city of Miami, you can pretty much get to the cruise port within 20 minutes. Fort Lauderdale, I cruised out of there once, and that was one time for me to know enough. Don't cruise out there if you don't have to, because if you stay in Fort Lauderdale, like on the beach, Lauderdale by the sea, Fort Lauderdale Beach, Hotel Row, you're a good half an hour, 40 minutes from the actual cruise port. You're better off staying at the airport hotel, which is not much to do there. It's basically in Dania Beach. The airport is pretty much at the very end of Fort Lauderdale on the border of Hollywood. So you're really closer to Hollywood than you are Fort Lauderdale. So that's something you got to take into consideration. Another thing I want to talk about with Fort Lauderdale is you gotta have, if you don't like renting a car, which I don't, Fort Lauderdale is not a good option. Like I said, most of the hotels, Hotel Row, Lauderdale by the Sea, where all the action is in Fort Lauderdale's not by the cruise ports, 15-20 minutes, half an hour away, depending on traffic, sometimes even 40 minutes away if you take the share shuttle ride like I did. So you gotta rent a car, and if you don't want to rent a car, yeah, you gotta stay at the airport hotel, and then you basically have nothing around you. So you either stay in Fort Lauderdale and rent a car and be close to everything, or you stay by the airport hotel, and you basically have nothing available to you. So that, like I said, it's a pretty bad option. Um, no, cruising out of Miami is a lot easier, especially traveling into Miami. You can choose to fly into Fort Lauderdale, fly into West Palm Beach, and just take the, well, it hasn't started yet. It was supposed to start at the end of this year because I was planning on doing it, but it's delayed to beginning of next year. The All Aboard Florida Intercity train, it's delayed till January, I believe they said. So that's kind of a damp around things, but you can still take the Tri-Rail from West Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale down into Miami. It drops you off at the Miami International Airport, which isn't a terrible option. I've done that a few times. And then if you stay in South Beach like I do, you can either take a cab, you can take the um the express bus into Miami Beach, which isn't so bad. You just have to have a look. Going to take you about 40 minutes to get into South Beach, which isn't terrible. It's about $2.50, so it's kind of worth it unless you have no patience. You want to jump in a cab and spend $30 on a cab from the Miami airport into South Beach. If you live in the northeastern part of the United States, like I do, getting to Miami for a cruise is very easy. Like I said, you fly into Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, or even Miami International Airport. There is literally a flight every hour, especially certain days of the week because everyone is traveling for cruise ship. It's used to be one of the I won't say a wide body flight. always when I used to visit my grandparents in West Palm Beach, flying back from a school vacation, it was always a wide body flight. It was always a 767. It was never a smaller aircraft. Now the airlines use smaller aircrafts like the MD-88, the A320s, 737 800s, but those flights used to be they're still full. They're always full. Unfortunately, there's not as many seats on the planes as there used to be because even though there are 2 or 3 more flights a day, they're using smaller aircraft. So it's basically the same amount of seats on more flights, but less seats on each plane. So that's something you have to consider which airport you want to fly into. But anywhere you fly into, there are plenty of flights. There's at least a flight every hour from New York, Boston, Philly. I'll say you go far down from Boston all the way down to Washington D.C. Out of all those airports, out of the major city airports, there's at least a flight every hour to one of those 3 cities. So getting down there is incredibly easy. Um, Now, from getting the Tri-Rail has not started this yet. It's supposed to start sometime next year, where the All Aboard Florida train is going to stop in downtown Miami. They're connecting the Tri-Rail at the Miami Central Station, which also is in Government Center. It is downtown Miami. It is walking distance from the American Airlines Arena, Bayside, Bayfront Park. So it's very easy. It's going to be very easy to get to downtown Miami if you want to stay in downtown Miami. Let's get this sucks.